We are back. We got interrupted. One of my followers said she could not get volume. So I stopped the video and I restarted up so that I could make sure she had volume. So I'm trying to find my phone again because I don't know how on earth I've misplaced it. But here we are again. So I'm letting her know we're on again. And that I have shared it. I'm going to go ahead and share it again to my Facebook on pages that I manage, to Stampin' with a heart, and we're going to post. Woohoo! So hopefully everybody will get to see it. So there we go. We are now on. I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole of what was going on. Earlier today, I went to some sunflowers and did a maze with my grandson. And then after that, we went to a football game. That was why I was not here this morning like I normally am. But we're going to do a fall card for you. I'm going to go ahead and take me off and put you back down to the bottom so you can see where I'm at and get an idea of what I'm doing. Okay, so back to the bottom. What I've already done is I have embossed a piece of Blackberry Bliss with our Timeworn textures from Stampin' Up, which is this folder right here. It's from Stampin' Up. You can get that in our fall catalog till the end of December. I believe it's in the Nature's Harvest Suite. And then I have embossed it, and then I spritzed it with some Glimmer Mist, which is not a Stampin' Up product. But you can pick this up at your local hobby store or online. I mean, I get no preference or any treatment or any profit from showing you this. All right. Hey, Margaret. Now you can hear me. Woohoo. Hi, Sherry. I'm so glad you let me know, Sherry. I wouldn't be here without you, girl. And so I'm just using this as I spritz it right on here. And so this is what you see. This is what the back of it looks like beforehand. So that's the impression you get. Okay. So that's what I've done. I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to leave this out for you to see. So now what we're working on is our strip that goes right here. This is 2.5 by 5.5. And we're just literally going to, I've got this stamped in some So Saffron ink. And I'm going to take a sponge. You can use a dauber, a blending brush, whatever tool you have. And I just pick some sides and spaces to put some color, and it can be random, it can be very methodical, it's up to you. I always tend to stamp in the middle first, and because I'm make sure you use a soft foam piece behind what you use to stamp, because this is a polymer stamp. It is also a retired stamp set. It's called Vintage Leaves. Now, Stampin' Up! Has a new one called Gorgeous Leaves in the fall catalog. It's beautiful, and I'm in love. I've seen some things stamped with it, and I really want it. But I'm trying to be good, and I'm trying not to order extra stuff. But here's the way it comes out. This is So Saffron and Rich Razzleberry. Kind of makes it look a little brown and fallish. I love it. So now, in between each one, I'm going to clean my stamp set. And, of course, it's going to look terrible. I'm using my shimmy, which is really loved, if you can tell. And I'm going to put this away. I'm going to do this 3 different times. We're going to do the same set. We're going to just stamp it in some So Saffron. We're going to take this Blackberry Bliss, or this is Rich Razzleberry. And we're literally just going to come in it and rub some color on the edges. Really wherever you want to put the color. And I'm just going to go with 3. And you're not going to see all of it on this piece because we're going to then stamp half on, half off kind of thing on the edge. And I let it sit for a few minutes. I had one lady I met at one of the art market things I was doing, and she's like, I just can't stamp. Stamping's awful. I can cut out, and you know, I'm like, it's all in how you stamp. You put it down, you love it, talk nicely to it. Don't mush it down, because then of course you're going to get that shaky little shimmery look to your halo looking on your stamp. But it took me a long time to get that too. That's why I never really stamped. Now I'm going to do this one more time I do try to pay attention to how I have the colors so I don't repeat it. I have a lot of red in the middle or yellow in the middle, so I'm going to try to leave my yellow on the outside this time. And I'm going to just really put this in the middle. Kind of leave it really bold. And then I'm just going to flip this. Well, I don't even have to flip it. It's going to go like this. And we're, again, just going to put it on there and give it a minute and just kind of do some voodoo magic, love it, and go, woohoo, we love you, it's going to be good. And then pull off. And there you go. So I'm going to put this stamp aside. We are done with it. And there we have that. I'm going to also close up my rich razzleberry and my So Saffron because I'm done with these two. Now I'm going to show you a quick little easy way that I have managed to get these. See these little sparklies all over this card? These little shimmeries on there. They're not shimmeries, but they're just different textures of spray. Now you could do that with several things. You could do it with stamps. You could do it with, I'm trying to find my bone folder. Don't see my bone folder. Oh well, we'll just use a pen. That'll work. Nice heavy pen will work. So I'm going to take a blending brush. You could use the stamp. You could use whatever you got. But I'm taking my blending brushes and I'm literally going to just tap them for some spatters. And I'm using the dark Mossy Meadow to give me some splatters of green because I wanted some Mossy Meadow in this card. And I'm also going to take my dark Blackberry Bliss and do the same thing. Now I know, Sherry, you're not of the texture color and putting all that, you know, torn and tattered look all around, but that's okay. And see, I even got it all over my pen. Woohoo! So there's the background piece. That's all it is. You can see that, just some splattered textured colors over my leaves. I think it looks really pretty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3/4 inch strips of crumb cake, and they are also cut with the pen flowers dies, and we're literally just going to put a little glue on them and we're going to put them behind our strip here. So I'm going to move this out of the way because it had ink on it and I don't want more ink on everything. So I'm going to try to keep it so that I have an even line. Like I want to line it up with this dash on this piece, if you can see it. And this is the great thing about using my board here because I have all those lines. So now I have lined it up evenly and I have my little dashes on there that gave me my guide. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just a little bit of glue down here. And I'm going to line it up again so that I have my line right where I want it. And then I'm just going to come lay this right on there. And boom. And actually it looks like it's a little bit too big. So there we go. Or a little too small. So we're going to lay it just like that. I'm going to hold it up, make sure I got my lines good. There we go. That part's finished. So now we can get our piece of Blackberry Bliss back out. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put the ribbons around it so it won't be so hard to lay it down on your card base. So now I'm going to take, I've got this retired, this is called Shimmer Gold Shimmer ribbon. I'm going to take a little bit of this. We're going to use this because I want some more Mary Merlot in it. This is the Mossy Meadow. I want to say this was the braided, yeah, this is braided linen ribbon trim. If you don't have this, you could just take regular linen trim, which is this stuff, and you could use this, or you could color this with some Mossy Meadow Stampin' Up! Blends, and that would stay, or you could spritz it however you wanted to get it if you wanted that color. But I have some of this left over. It retired at the end of the other catalog. And we also have some of this. This is called Fine Art Ribbon. It's got a little bit of linen and some gold flecks to it. which give nice texture to our card. So I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow ribbon first, and I'm going to wrap it around here. Make sure I have plenty of room to have a nice pretty bow, but a nice pretty bow that will give me some room to actually have it out on the top of all these other pieces of ribbon. Now you could just literally just tie this in a knot over your card to start. Nice little knot. Don't worry about how long anything is. We're going to trim all that up. So I'm going to leave it just like this. Then I'm going to take my gold shimmer ribbon and literally just tie a knot. That's it. Simple little knot. I'm not being fancy. Just a little knot. I probably would have liked it a little shorter than that, but that's okay. I'm going to cut this one off. So there we go. And I'm going to trim this. We don't need it to be that big. So there we go. Then I'm going to take this linen ribbon and I'm going to do the same thing. And you don't have to put a lot to do this, but you're doing the same thing and trimming it off. Now you could go a little longer on this one, because with this one you can actually pull these strands up to kind of make this linen ribbon kind of curl. So what you want to do is, to get it to do that, you see how there's these little pieces? You take these little bitty pieces of ribbon, hold them, and then just pull down. You just hold one or two of them and the whole thing will push down. And I don't want to push the whole thing down. I just want a little bit of it pulled down so it gives it some curl. And that's good. Now we're going to take this leftover part of your Mossy Meadow and we're going to go ahead and make sure our bow ties are right on top of that tie. And we're going to tie right over top of it and make a bow. I mean, you could leave it off and just tie it, but I'm going to put a bow because I think a bow is pretty. You love the splashes, Sherry? No, the leaves are not a new set, Sherry. The leaves are vintage leaves. They are from several years ago. It's called Vintage Leaves. You could look it up on eBay if you'd like. I could also look with a couple other people that I know that do Stampin' Up as well and see if we could find just that if you wanted it. But you can also try out the new Gorgeous Leaves. The new Gorgeous Leaves are just as pretty. Alright, we've got our bow on here. Now I'm going to try to shred up some of this extra ribbon here on this green, because I just think it looks so pretty, being tattered and torn like a worn piece of typed paper. And I'm just pulling at these little trimmed pieces, and if you look at it really close you can see that it's just this little piece, and we're just gonna pull it apart. And it's a braided ribbon, so if you look at it, it will literally just pull itself apart as you pull on it. And I'm just trying to yank it to give it some texture, and we're going to leave it like that. And it seems loose, but once you tie this down, because we've tightened it so much and we've pulled on the ribbon pieces, it seems loose. But you can fix that by just adding a little bit of tape runner in the back, and that will take care of that for you. But actually it will fix it all for you once you adhere this to your card base, so that way it doesn't move. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to my card base, and just putting a little glue, because I could use dimensionals. I have used dimensionals, but I'm doing a little glue because I don't find the dimensionals do a lot of fun for it. And with my ribbon in the middle, I want to make sure my ribbon stays down. So I'm just going to put this right here in the middle, and we're going to lay it right there on the center. Flatten her out, and there you have it. And now we're going to do our sentiment, which I have just some bits of white left over. I'm doing a 1-inch strip, and we're going to stamp with our banner year. This is a set that is in the annual catalog, banner year, and I love this sentiment. Happy fall, y'all. Y'all know that. I've sent it to y'all several times already. It's my favorite sentiment. Brings me back home in my mind every time. So I'm going to take my leaf off and get my sentiment. I'm going to also line my little piece of cardstock up here on my tray so that I make sure I get it even. Now here's my ink, and I've got my lovely little sentiment. I'm gonna have to mush this in here. I know I say not to do that, but my little stamp does not want to stick, and it's not picking up the ink for me. So those of you that are watching, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Just click at the bottom and subscribe, and I will be happy to have you on here. Those of you who leave comments, I will be messaging you at the end of the week. I will select a winner, and one of these cards will get mailed to you. So now I'm just going to stamp this right in the middle, and I should have had my foam pad underneath me because this is a polymer as well. So I'm just putting some good pressure on it so we get a good inking. There we go. Oh, and it did turn out really well on that one. Alright, so we've got happy fall, y'all. And I think I'm going to trim it up a little bit on the top and the bottom and make it to about 3/4. Just I feel that this is too big and it will cover too much. So give me a second and I'm going to trim that up. Okay, I have trimmed it to be 3/4 of an inch wide. Now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put it in. I like this one, is my favorite. It's our triple banner punch, and it should just slide right in here. And I will flip it over to make sure I'm centered in the slot. And just punch away. And that's good. We'll just do 2 on the other side so we can have a nice, well, actually it doesn't look bad to be just like this. We could trim it off. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be a little different. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to put some glue dots. This I am going to pop up. We're going to put one here and one towards the end. First, I just need to figure out where we're going to set this. I'm going to go like right here. So we're going to put it right here. And then we're just literally going to put this right on top. Just like this. We can take the snips and snip off the bottom. So we're nice and even there. Now it's just a matter of, this is so loose on me, I'm going to put some glue underneath that. I'm going to do a glue dot. As soon as I find my glue dots. Don't need a bunch of them, just need a little one. And here we go. Let me get my little piece here, and I'm going to put a glue dot under here because I don't like that it keeps moving around on me. There we go. And we're just going to glue dot that in place so it'll stay put. And let's put some, I'm going to go with some Gilded Gems. These are in our catalog. Now my other ones I used are brush metallics. And I'm going to just do a little glue, a little gem here. Actually, I think that's a little too big of one, but that's okay. And I'm going to put one over here. And I've got some littler ones right here. And a little one over here. There we go. And then you're just going to put this on a card base. That's it. And in your card base, you can put whatever you want on the inside. That's totally up to you. But isn't it gorgeous? I absolutely love this. So you can do it in variations of colors. As you can see, this is done in the browns. Margaret, what do you use if you don't use glue dots? I love glue dots. They're like my thing, and they're my jam. And they've got these really big glue dots that like turn into little balls, so they make dimensionals that are glue and clear, and you can use them under vellum. They're wonderful stuff. So there's my 3 cards. So what I'm going to do is the people who leave comments at the end of next Saturday, someone will get drawn, and they will get to partake in having one of those. Let me pull my ugly mug back up for you. There you go. So like I said, Saturday next week, I will pull a winner. I'll post it on this, so someone will get one. I give everybody a week because some people watch after the fact because I'm doing it at strange times. So anyway, y'all have a great day. And don't forget that it's 9/11, 20 years ago. Where were you? I was at home getting ready for work and calling my mother-in-law to wish her happy birthday because she worked at a newspaper station. And I said, if I don't call you now, we're not going to talk to you. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. And I'm going to post some pictures of the sunflowers because there's one I really want to do. And I don't know what color to use. Y'all have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless. And have a wonderful night. Bye, y'all.